Greetings and welcome to week 13. This week we're going to continue our study of the Millennium Development Goals with goals number 3 and goals number 4. Respectively, goal number 3 is to promote gender equality and to empower women. Goal number 4 is to reduce child mortality. The theme really of the week in both of those cases is about women and about empowering women and about giving them the tools they need to produce not only a healthy life for themselves, but a healthier life for their society. There are many, many, many indicators that say the number one thing you can do to improve the lot of a society is to improve the lives, and improve the education of women. So, Millennium Development Goal number 3, Millennium Development Goal number 4. If you do nothing else this week, please go to the guest speaker page and watch two of my friends from my time studying at the Fletcher School. Mandeep Janeja from India now lives in Vietnam. She's in Hanoi working with the United Nations. And once again, Jonathan Veitch, who you met last week, he will talk about child mortality. He is in Kyrgyzstan and he is working with UNICEF. Specifically, he's working as UNICEF does with children and improving the lives of children, and he's worked all over the world. They are two incredible individuals, and we study international relations and we study the international system, and we talk about ways to make people's lives better, but these two people are doing it. They are the models, and so they are inspiring to me, as I am sure they will be inspiring to you. The current event for the week, the situation brief, is India. And India is a rising power in the international system. And so when you have a country that big with over 1 billion people, and that dynamic with an economy that's growing between 6 and 10% a year, and you have that economy and that country rising in political power, in military power, but most specifically in economic power, situated right beside another country with over 1 billion people, of course China, that also has an economy that's growing at a very rapid pace, that also is growing in political clout, and that also is increasing its military strength. You have those two. They have a border that's over well over 1,000 miles long, and so can two giants in the same region that share a border, can they both rise at the same time without clashing? It's a great question. It's a fascinating question that you'll wrestle with a little bit this week in consideration of India. You'll also look at India through the lens of its relationship with Pakistan. And Pakistan has been the foil to India. It has been the nemesis of India since India was created in 1947. And Pakistan was split from India, and it became the Muslim India, so to speak, with the name of Pakistan. And so you have a Hindu nation and you have a Muslim nation right beside each other. They're fighting over many things, but most specifically a piece of land called Kashmir that they fought 3 wars over since the partition in 1947. It's always a tense area, and maybe when you consider the Taiwan Strait is maybe the most dangerous place in the world, maybe, then Kashmir could be the second of a long list. And who knows where they fall in relationship to each other, but both the Taiwan Strait, as we studied earlier in the semester, and Kashmir are very dangerous places in the international system and hotspots of possible instability. The final portion of the week, after we do the Millennium Development Goals 3 and 4 and India, is that we're going to take a look at a guy named Greg Mortenson. Now, Greg Mortenson was, and is in many ways, a hero to me. He wrote a book a number of years ago called 3 Cups of Tea. And it's a wonderful book, a wonderful read. But his purpose was to work in the mountains of Pakistan and the mountains then of Afghanistan to build schools, but build schools particularly for girls. So this idea of educating women and girls flows right into Millennium Development Goal number 3. So Greg Mortenson then wrote a second book. It's called Stones into Schools. I believe I have it right behind me. I do. It's this book, and So he writes these books about his experiences in the rural areas of Afghanistan and Pakistan building schools for young girls. And he became a legend in the humanitarian field. And he was given, President Obama donated to his charity, and he was given all kinds of medals and awards. In recent weeks, there have been a number of stories, most importantly, a story came out of 60 Minutes that maybe Mr. Mortensen isn't as great as he seems. In that, he maybe uses the money that was raised for his charity for his own well-being, to fly around on private jets and to increase his lifestyle instead of helping the girls in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And also that some of the great storytelling that he does in 3 Cups of Tea wasn't accurate, wasn't real, that he made them up, or at least he embellished actual events. The most troubling of all the accusations against him, though, is that that many of the schools that he claimed to be creating and that he claimed to have started are really fictitious, in that there are buildings there, but they're not serving young girls, and they're not serving anybody really, or that he didn't create them. So it's a dark time for Greg Mortensen, and in many ways it's a tragedy for me, because he's reported himself to be an educator and a humanitarian who's doing unbelievable good in the world. I don't discount the fact that he has done good. It's indisputable. But it's a little bit disheartening to see these accusations made against him. So, you'll watch an interview with him, and the question that will be asked from the interview, and this ties into a question we asked earlier, we asked, can Al-Qaeda in all its forms, can terrorism be defeated? And he says that the U.S. is going about it all wrong, that you'll never be able to defeat Islamic terrorism or any kind of terrorism through military efforts, that it takes humanitarian efforts, and particularly that it's about educating. And, as is the theme of our week, it's about educating young girls. So, that is our week. Millennium Development 3 and 4, India, and a short piece about Greg Mortensen. After this week, we have 2 more weeks left until the end of our course. Thank you very much for sticking with us. I appreciate your effort, and I appreciate your work, and I've enjoyed reading your writing and seeing you improve as analytical thinkers and as writers. So, have a good week 13, and I will see you online.